It's time to share, there's a world out there, looking for a friend like Jesus. It's time to share, there's a world out there, let's tell him that he loves us so. Let's tell him that he loves us so. Kids time, kids time, kids time.
Hi, boys and girls. I'm feeling kinda hungry right now. In fact, some of my mom's hot homemade bread right out of the oven sounds so good right now. But I can promise you I'm not going to eat this bread. This doesn't look very appetizing, does it? With all this mold on it, can you see that? Ugh, yucky mold. Even though it's not a lot of fun to look at, I have a reason for showing you this mold today. You see, mold can be a very bad thing. And it's everywhere. The mold that I'm showing you has grown on food, but molds can grow on paper and carpet and wood, as well as food. In fact, there are mold spores in the air all of the time. Now, are you wondering why I said that mold can be a bad thing? Well, if you were to eat this bread, and I know you wouldn't, it would make you sick. And the kind of molds that you breathe in the air can make people sick. But you may be surprised to learn that a very good thing, in fact, a wonderful thing, has come from mold. Yes, mold. Way back in 1929, a man by the name of Alexander Fleming, he discovered that mold contained an ingredient that could actually fight the bacteria that cause infections. And because of his discovery, penicillin became a very powerful antibiotic that has saved millions of lives. And all that good came out of what we think of as a bad thing. Ooh, mold. Well, today's Bible story will tell you about a bad thing that happened and how God, he's much smarter than Alexander Fleming, he brought something good out of it. Sometimes bad things happen to us or to people that we care about. And when they do, we might not be able to see anything good about it at all. But you know what? God has a way of bringing good things, things we call blessings, out of unhappy circumstances. So, if something bad is happening in your life, just trust in God and keep watching for Him to surprise you with a very special blessing. You know, Jesus has given us many blessings through nature, and right now, Ranger Jim is going to show us one of those blessings, sheep with very short legs.
Hi, boys and girls. Ranger Jim saying welcome to Nature Time. We're glad you can join us today. We have a special friend here with us today, Connie, and we have some sheep that have a name about this long. Connie, what do you call these?
These are miniature Old English baby doll Southdown sheep. They originally came from England, and a gentleman in Washington bred them and even started a registry service for them. From there, they've spread to other people throughout the country. This one has an orange tag in his ear, and that's used for registration purposes for his identification.
And like you may see, boys and girls, you may see cows out in the field, and they're wearing ear tags, and that looks very uncomfortable to you, doesn't it? But that's the only way you can identify them. When you have a large flock of sheep, the only way you can identify them is having the name tag. And so this is a young buck, right? He's a little broader than the others. Is he overweight?
Yes, he is. We very much have to limit the amount of feed that we give them because they can become overweight very easily. The ewes don't have as much of a problem with that because they nurse young, and that helps keep the weight off of them. But this guy right here really likes his feed, and it shows on him.
And so he walks around as broad as he is long, and so all he does is walk around and eat. And so this is true, they're miniature sheep, but we would think that they're still referred to, the female is known as the ewe,
yes,
and the ram or buck.
Right.
Okay, and then of course they are lambs. Mm-hmm. And what about their fleece? Do you share these as you do with other sheep?
Every spring we shear their wool, and some people spin it into yarn and then make clothes and different things out of it.
And they don't require, as you could guess, boys and girls, they don't require any special protection in the winter time. We're here in central Iowa where it gets very cold, but these sheep are very comfortable. They're walking around in a very, very heavy wool coat. In fact, they can lay down on the snow and go to sleep. When they awaken in the morning, the snow isn't even melted. They're so well insulated. And tell me this now, this one is a baby back here, the dark one.
She was born this spring in March.
And so she's she won't be a year old until next March, but she's almost as large as her mother.
Yes, she is. They grow very quickly.
And what about multiple births in these?
The first time they have babies, they normally have one lamb, and then with each birth after that, they will normally have twins.
And so that way you can really build the herd quickly, can't you?
Yes.
As long as you have that. And so you have the ram and the 2 ewes, and so then you can build that up and move from there. Well, tell me this, you have already said that they don't eat much, and so they're easy to keep, aren't they? And they're quite a new breed, but they would make an ideal pet, wouldn't they, for someone to have?
Yes.
I notice they're very gentle, they're not flighty, they don't run. And so they're very good for that. Now, some are black and some are white. Are they different sheep or?
Nope, it's still the same breed of sheep. It's just different color variations that they come in. This one was very dark black when she was born, but from being out in the sun, she has faded to this brown color.
And that's much the same as in bison. When the baby bison's born, he may be darker, but then he is getting lighter all the time. And so I'm going to reach back, and they don't have horns. When they're adults, they don't have horns. Even the buck doesn't have horns.
Right.
They don't have horns. May I touch you? Oh, his fleece is very warm. Okay, and we were talking a moment ago about taking the fleece off. And when you take the fleece off, boys and girls, you're going along, you can put your hand down on them, and they're very warm, aren't they?
Yes, you can just feel the heat coming off of their bodies.
And so they're well insulated. And these creatures, boys and girls, are like other sheep in the fact that they are very gentle, very docile. And when I think of sheep, I always think that there are many, many texts in the Bible that refer to sheep. Perhaps the most referred to animal in all of the Bible is sheep. And sheep are always the gentle ones. And Jesus, quite often in the Bible, is referred to as the Lamb of God. And so in that sense, Jesus was meek and lowly, and he was our Savior. And so these sheep are much easier to lead than they are to drive, because they have a stubborn streak, and when you try to drive them, they become disoriented, they become frightened, and they run and scatter in all directions. And as our friend Connie was saying when we were trying to get the sheep to come up here and cooperate, where one goes, they all will go. They will just follow the leader and scatter and run everywhere. And I think there's a lesson there for boys and girls also. Don't follow the crowd, okay, boys and girls? Don't follow the crowd. Someone may go out in the school ground and say, oh, this is okay to do this or to do that. But don't you believe it. You do what you know is right. So as always, Ranger Jim here saying, don't forget to tell Jesus that you love him, because he really does love you.
Hello, boys and girls. I'm here with my daughter, Hannah Grace. Hannah, how's homeschooling going?
Good.
Good. What's 2 plus 2?
4.
Very good. What's the capital of Michigan?
Lansing.
Wow, you know a lot of things.
But Daddy, I know something more important.
What's that?
Brandon got into the spaghetti sauce.
Brandon, Robert, Kyle? Boys and girls, I didn't know Brandon got in the spaghetti sauce. I guess there's a lot of stuff I just don't know. But God knew, because God knows everything.
God knows everything, and everything means anything. God knows everything, and everything God knows. God knows everything, and everything means anything. God knows everything, and everything God knows.
Lord, even before I say a word, you already know what I'm going to say. You're all around me, in front and back. You have put your hands on me.
God knows everything, and everything means anything. God knows everything, and everything God knows.
Lord, you know my future before
I began. You know what I've done, what I do again. You got me for me and you brought me there. You know my thoughts and plans.
Your knowledge is amazing to me. It's more than I can understand.
Everybody likes peanut butter. Peanut butter on sandwiches, peanut butter on cookies, even peanut butter on celery. But I'm gonna make you peanut butter bread. Yep, peanut butter bread. And here's the recipe. 2 cups flour, 2 teaspoons Rumford baking powder, egg replacer, equivalent of 1 egg, 3/4 cup peanut butter, 1/2 cup honey, and 3/4 cup better than milk, original flavor. And we're gonna start with the Rumford baking powder. Mix the dry ingredients together in the flour. If you don't mix it up real good, then there'll be more baking powder in certain sections than others. Okay. Then we're going to do our egg replacer. Now the egg replacer has no egg in it. It's just to replace the egg, and it's equivalent of 1 egg. Mix that with the water here. Yeah. You just want to do it just until it's mixed, not too much, but mixed up. All the stuff off the side. Okay. Then we're going to add our honey and peanut butter. Put the honey in first so we can get the peanut butter to get all mixed up. Okay. Ugh, sticky. All right. Get as much of it out as you can. And then peanut butter. And you can use crunchy or creamy, but I like crunchy because it gives it a little more crunch. All out. Okay. Mix up. Ugh, sticky. Okay. All right. Almost done. Okay. You got that all mixed up. Then we're going to add our flour. Okay. Mix that all up. It's a really easy recipe too. You don't even have to knead the dough. All you have to do is, whoops, spilled some. All you have to do is just when you finish stirring, just dump it in the pan, and you're done. Oops, don't do what I did. I forgot the milk. Have less trouble stirring if I remembered the milk. Okay. There we go. Keep stirring till it looks about like this. It looks a lot different with my milk, doesn't it? Speaking of milk, this is better than milk, soy milk, and it doesn't have any dairy products in it. And it's my family's favorite, but you can really use any kind of soy milk. And now we're gonna put it in our pan. Spray the pan first. Scoop this into here. Okay. There you go. Get it all in here. The nice thing about this bread is you don't have to knead it or anything. You just kind of finish stirring it up and put it right in. Like this. As much as you can out. All right. Okay. Almost done.
smooth it out on the top a little bit. And you're going to bake this at 350 for about 40 minutes or until it looks brown on the top. But I've got a sample here for you to see. This is what it looks like when it's done. I'd like to slice a piece for you now to show you how nice and moist it is inside. This. Well, that's all there is to it. So until next time, keep cooking and eat healthy.
Here, little lamb. Little lamb, where are you? I know you're here somewhere. Have you seen my little lamb? I think I hear him. He must be around here somewhere. There you are. It's okay. I'll be right with you. I'm going to tell him a quick story. My name is Reuben. I'm the oldest brother of 12 to my father, Jacob. Now, a long time ago, we lived in a place where we had to work very hard for ourselves. We had many sheep that we had to tend to, and each one of my brothers and I took care of them. Being the oldest one, I held a lot of responsibility. And unfortunately, I wasn't too good of an example to some of my brothers because we used to pick on my little brother, Joseph. He wasn't the littlest of them all, but he was the middle one. And what made things even worse was that our father really favored Joseph. He even went so far as to make Joseph a beautiful, beautiful robe. Well, none of us had beautiful robes like he did. Joseph had many dreams, which he told us about. We called him the dreamer because that's what he seemed to be. And one day, all of us brothers got together and thought we should do something about this Joseph. We should get rid of him. We didn't like the fact that our father loved him above us. And so some brothers decided we should kill him, while others suggested, well, maybe we should do something else. I suggested that we merely cast him into a ditch. We leave him there, in the hopes that my brothers would go away and I'd return and I would fetch my brother out and send him away. I didn't want to hurt him. It didn't seem like the right thing to do. And plus, my father, he held me responsible for my little brothers, and I just couldn't stand the thought of hurting them. Well, when I came back to help my brother, he was gone. It turns out that my brothers had sold him into slavery. I was so distraught, I didn't know what to do. How could I explain this to my father? I knew it would just kill him. So we decided we would take that precious robe that he had made for Joseph, and we would dip it into blood and then present it to our father so that he would know that something terrible had happened, not our fault, but that some animal had come and had killed Joseph, and this is all we had to show. Well, that's what we did, and I'll never forget just how terrible it felt to sit there and watch my father cry. Well, he cried for days. His precious Joseph was dead. Not long after that, there was a terrible famine that came across the land, and we started running short on food. So our father, he sent us brothers that remained to Egypt. Well, what we were about to experience, we had no idea what it was going to be like to meet our brother Joseph, whom we had lost so long ago. We went to Egypt to get food, and there, standing in front of us, was not just the governor of Egypt, but it was our own brother Joseph. Oh, we cried, we laughed. He kissed each of us. He even was so kind as to send us back here, back to our father's land, to tell him of the good news that Joseph was no longer dead. He was no longer missing. He was alive, and he wanted us to go live with him. In fact, he gave us the finest land in all of Egypt to call our own. And so now I'm here, getting everything ready. Our father is so excited. 20 years, can you imagine thinking your son, your precious son, is dead? And now he knows he's alive, and he can't wait to see him. Our father's so old, but he's so willing to make the big trip to Egypt so we can be with him forever. Here we had thought we had done a terrible thing, that God was surely going to curse us for the rest of our lives, and yet he has made this wonderful thing take place. Where will we be without our brother Joseph? I thank you for listening to my story. I love to spend more time, but I've got to find that sheep, and I've got to get everything else ready for our big trip. So I hope you have a good day. Bye-bye. Come on.
The Lord is my shepherd, I'll walk with him always. He leads through green pastures, I'll walk with him always. Always, always, I'll walk with him always. Always, always, I'll walk with him always. The Lord is my shepherd, I'll walk with him always. He leads through green pastures, I'll walk with him always. Always, always, I'll walk with him always. Always, always, I'll walk with him always.
Thank you, Caitlin, for that beautiful song. Well, boys and girls, I'd like you to meet someone today that has come a long way to be with me. This is Elise. Elise, can you say hi?
Hi.
I'm so glad you could be with us today. And you brought someone with you. Who did you bring? We don't have to bother him because we want him to stay still. But what's his name?
His name's Quigley.
His name is Quigley. And what do you and Quigley do to share Jesus? Huh?
How do you do that?
Yes. What do you and Quigley do to share Jesus?
I let them pet Quigley, and I gave him this card
Wait
right
a minute.
here.
Where did you take Quigley?
To the nursing home where there's lots of people in wheelchairs, and I let
You
them
took
pet
him
him.
to the. Wait a minute. Slow down so they can hear you. You went to the nursing home where there was lots of people in wheelchairs.
Yes.
And then what did you do? And they petted Quigley. And
Yeah, and I gave them this card that says, Jesus loves you, and so do we, Elise and Quigley. And I wrote all that.
You wrote all that. Can I see that?
I wrote all of this, but the footprint, Mommy wrote.
Oh,
And I wrote this too.
what does it say?
It says, this is how we know what love is. Jesus Christ laid down his life for us.
That's nice. That's a wonderful way to witness.
It's for you.
And this is mine? Oh, thank you. And there's a picture here with you and Quigley on it.
Yeah,
That's a wonderful way to share Jesus, isn't it? Boys and girls, maybe you might have a pet at home that you could take and visit maybe a next door neighbor that's sick, or you might find another way that you can share your pet with others and share Jesus. I think that's a wonderful idea. Well, I have a letter here. Before I do, I want to tell you one thing more. Your grandma and grandpa are very special friends of mine. In fact, I know them as Uncle Pat and Aunt Martha. But what do you call your grandma and grandpa? Can you look in the camera and say hi to grandma and grandpa for you?
Hi, Grandma and Grandpa Wheatley.
Can you tell them you love them?
I love you.
There you go, and I love you too. So just a hi to her grandma and grandpa. Well, this letter is from Kuwait, and I've been getting quite a few letters from Kuwait lately. I'm glad to hear from you. This says, Dear Miss Brenda, my name is Layla, and I am 11 years old. I share Jesus by sharing my stuff with my friends. I like your program very much and your show. I like the songs, and especially Sharing Time's my favorite. Could you please send me a Kids Time activity book? Thank you once again. May God bless you and all the people at 3ABN. And here's a verse from the Bible for you. God is not a God of conclusion, but a God of peace. And it says 1 Corinthians 14:33, love Layla. Well, thank you, Layla, so much for your for that letter. Let's put Quigley's leash down, though, okay? I don't think he's going anywhere. Okay, now this one is from Fulton, Michigan. And this says, Dear Miss Brenda, my name is Elena, and I am 8 years old. I spend Friday nights with my grandma and grandpa, and I go to church with them on Sabbath. I always watch Kids Time before we leave for church. I would like to be entered into Kids Club. Love, Elena. And Elena, thank you very much. She's from Michigan. Thank you for your letter. I would love to assign you up for Kids Club. And boys and girls, if you'd like to join Kids Club, send me a letter and let me know. We'll get those lessons right out to you. See if I have time for one more letter. This one's from New Mexico, and it says, Dear Miss Brenda, is there a kids club? My sister said she heard about it, and I would like to join. Is it okay for my parents to join too? Love, Kaylee and Naomi. Well, thank you very much, Kaylee and Naomi, for your letter. Yes, you can join Kids Club, and your parents, I think it's a good idea to have them do the studies right along with you. That's a wonderful idea. Well, I want to thank you, Elise, for joining us today and sharing Quigley with everybody. Boys and girls, maybe you can do something special to share Jesus, because it's kids' time to share Jesus.